Importing assets. Right then, so the last thing I need to do before I export my game and put it onto Steam and make millions and millions of pounds and all that, is just to kind of maybe bring in some assets because I did say this game was going to be called Chicken Dash, and at this point, it's called Cube Dash. Now, I actually like the way it is, so I'm kind of thinking I'm not going to change it, but I did promise I'd show you how to bring things in. So, what I'm going to need to do first and foremost is to actually bring things in to replace like my cube, to replace my coin triangle things and stuff like that. And I might bring like background images and stuff like that in as well. Now, a couple of ways you can do it. If you go to Window and click on Asset Store, then it will take you to the Unity Asset Store, and you can basically go through and look for things to download. So I might kind of look at 2D environments. And I might scroll down through this stuff and kind of go, oh, I like the look of that. Now, you're probably also noticing the fact that it's got these like prices. You can filter things for different things on the right hand side, but within pricing, you can also click on free assets and they'll show you all the freebies you can download. And I think the way it is, if I, for example, like the look of that, and in fact, I do like the look of that, you can then add to my assets, and then it will actually appear here on the left hand side, and then you can drag and drop things up onto the screen. Another thing you could potentially do is actually go and make stuff yourself. So this is pixelart.com. There are loads of pixel art things out there. If you want to make something yourself, or you could use software like Illustrator, Photoshop, Critter. There's loads of different ones you could use to make graphics. Or like myself, you could actually make something yourself then. And this is some of the things I've got prepared to bring in. So I'm actually going to import these in because I've made them, and obviously some of these things you'll be downloading into a folder to bring in as well. Right, I spent 2 minutes just talking. Right. Let's go to assets. And if you go to import new assets, and then I actually click on the things I want to bring in. I'm only going to bring a handful of them in at the moment. And when you press import, they then will appear down in your assets at the bottom. And as you click on them, you can then potentially like adjust these things to make them look a bit more pixelated. And I think maybe you have to put them on the scene for that to happen. So first thing I'm going to do, my chicken, I'm just going to cancel the fact I changed that there. Discard it, sorry. My chicken is going to replace my player. But on my player, when we first set it up, we put a collider on it, we did a rigid body, and we added these two scripts. So I've got to do the same for this guy as well. And if anything, I actually want to scale him down a little bit. He's a little bit too big at this point. Did I type in 0.8? Yeah, I did 0.8. So bear with me. Right. And I'm going to add polygon collider because I got spelled polygon wrong. Polygon collider. Um, I don't think I need to change anything on that. No, I don't need to. I'm also going to add the rigid body 2D. And I think I actually put the gravity scale as 4 for the rigid body. And I want the freeze rotation so he doesn't spin. In fact, that might be a nice little touch actually if he did spin around, but I can play around with that later. And like I said, the only other thing I need to do then is add the collectible script. And I need to make sure that my score text is connected to that. So there is a little bit of kind of stitching together as you're going through this. Let's try that one more time. And what else was there? It was movement, wasn't there? So if I check movement on there, and I think my speed was 12 and 15. And you can see that the sounds aren't connected either. So I'm gonna have to go and find the sounds. So that's my collect sounds. Oh no, what's going on? Scroll down a minute. There it is, collect sound. For some reason that expanded out a bit, the rigid body. And I need my jumping sound in here as well. Right, now my player, I'm not actually going to delete it at this point. I'm just going to untick it so we can't see it. And I'm pretty sure there's other things I need to connect up as well. So my spikes, I know it says, well, it's the player you're going to kill, aren't you? But actually, and I got to do this for all the spikes, in fact, I have to highlight them all. Now my player isn't called player anymore. It's called Chicken 2. So I might want to rename that as well. Drop that onto there. And I think on my like fall in death barrier, I also refer to player. So I'm going to connect that up there. So let's just press play and see what that looks like with the chicken running back and forth. But technically, he's not going to be running because, oh, that's not bad. Oh, but the camera's not following him. Oh, I knew I'd forget something. So on the camera, if I come down to the player, again, I'm going to have to drag across chicken 2 into that. And with all confidence, that should mean now that my chicken will be followed by the camera. I'm not dying, am I? Why am I not dying? That's weird. Okay. Ah, right, that's what it was. My chicken itself, I've also got to make sure it's got the player tag on it because it doesn't register when I hit these things when I'm actually dying there, if that makes sense. Or the players hit the spike. So let's just jump on a spike. Yay, so I do die and I respawn. Yay, cool. Whoops. Oh, so that seems to be working okay at this point. Now, in the next video or next few videos, we're going to be doing exporting, but I might show you how to do some animation as well, but we'll come back to that. Now, I have got a couple of other things. I want to put a sun up in the top left-hand corner, but the issue is when I put the sun in where it currently is, the sun actually stays back over there. So it probably makes more sense if I attach the sun to the camera itself. I've actually got two suns in there. Have I got two suns in there? I think it's because I did something before I started pressing record. But this time, look, the sun will actually follow us as we go along. There we go. So it's always a constant in the sky. So that's one thing to bear in mind. And I've also got this danger sign as well. So I actually want to hold down shift and move across. So I want to tell people that there's a gap there. And at this point, oh, it's actually gone behind it. That's good. But if it didn't go behind there, I would just need to drop the order in a layer. So -1, -2, that type of thing as well. Now, the last thing I want to look at is actually adding a background image. So I've made this image and it's just an example for the time being because I'm actually not too keen on it. But you can see that's gone in front of my player. So anything which is in the background, I always check as a high minus then. If I click on game, you can kind of see what it looks like there. And in fact, I don't like the look of that. What I'm going to do is take that off and maybe adjust the camera. Let's click on game so we can see it a bit better. So on the camera, I'll change the color so it is maybe something a little bit different like that. Yeah, that's just to show you can do it basically, okay? Right, so if I press play this time, and hopefully the danger sign looks okay when I get to it, if I survive. Uh, I can't do that first bit. There we go. And there we go, there's the danger sign to warn me. And you notice the chicken went behind the danger sign. So again, with the chicken, he's currently, his sprite render is 0. His is 0, so I just got to make sure that if I want that to go in front of it, then I make sure that goes down to -1, something like that. Right. Okay. So basically, that's how you kind of make things look a little bit better in your game. Like I said, I was quite happy with my cube. So I'm actually going to probably get rid of some of these things. And in the next video, we're going to be talking about how to export your game to be able to play it anywhere, not just in Unity like we are here.